Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
B3 Picks hit us in a big shout out to the Sports Talk Network, the one and only, the People's Network. Shout out to BVO Sports TV and all of the channels of the Sports Talk Network. They partner with your guy B3 Picks and B3BoxingPicks.com, where we provide pre-fight boxing picks of the week, but also live boxing betting options so we can make money pre-fight or during the fight betting on the beautiful sport of boxing. Follow me on all social media at B3 Boxing Picks. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Not Another Boxing Channel, presented by B3 Picks for more content. The membership is as low as $25 a month. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, B3 Boxing Picks, and let's go green.
Yo, salute. It's your boy BVO Sports TV. We a little movies. We're gonna take a break from boxing. What's going on? Puerto Rican Free, how you feeling, dog?
What's good?
So I had a good conversation with a brother of mine, man, and we were talking about some of our favorite movies. Wait, hold on 1 second. Make sure that music ain't too loud. Is that cool? Is that too loud? Can you hear me?
No, you good.
Okay. Salute, man. We got my man Tim Layton, Big Tim Layton in the house. My man Free was in the house early. Shout out to Angie, baby. Definitely shout out my man Chris Keeps It Boxing. But let me ask you this. Now, we talk about some of the movies from the 90s. You know, we talk about Get Out. We talk about, movies like movie like Him. What you think about, some of those 90s movies that we didn't realize were horror movies like Menace to Society? Because a friend of mine brought this up. I didn't even think about it, but Kane was talking about that whole story from the grave. So what you think about that when you look about it now? Was that a horror movie to you?
Absolutely not. A horror movie. A horror movie is a chilling thriller or something that scares you. Menace to Society didn't scare me. It was just a movie talking about some guys coming up in South Central LA. That wasn't a scary movie. That wasn't a horror movie. Some people might look at it like that if they never seen the hood before. They come from a suburbs and never seen that type of people in America. That might have been a horror to them, but from somebody that grew up in the inner city, it's not a horror movie to me.
What's going on? We got my brother Insane in the house. What's up, Insane? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. How y'all feeling tonight, man?
Good, man. This was the idea of my brother Insane. He came up talking about this. And when you think about Menace to Society, I'm going to bring you in. I will just say this real quick as I'm opening remarks on it. When I watched it as a child, I couldn't believe niggas across the, from here, I'd say from Ohio to California might be 2,000 miles away. I couldn't believe those niggas, man, were kind of experiencing the same type of stuff I was. And when I say that, just the immense violence. When you watch Menace to Society, if you look at it, that's a very, very violent movie. But go ahead, what you got on the Insane?
I heard what my brother Free say, but I know that my brother Free comes from a different world, you know what I'm saying? And Free was on the other side of this world, but actually having to live in Long Beach, California, coming up around gangs, coming up around unalivings and shootings every night, and you can't even be outside hanging out with your partners because dudes is about to come and do a drive-by on you, bro. That's horror. And what they showed you was the reality that every day that these guys live in the hood. You're not supposed to live like that. God didn't make us to live like that. So if a
Mm-hmm.
person thinks that that's normal, it's not. It's horrific for a mother to come outside and her child is laying there. For a father to
Mm-hmm.
come outside and his child is laying there. For some children to come outside and
Oh,
their
big head, big.
father is laid there. That's horrific. That's horror at its best.
For sure.
So
For sure.
these guys misinterpret it as this is black exploitation or this is just entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is worse than wars that you see fought on the United States front. This is war at home.
Mm-hmm.
This is a horror movie, bro. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you turn off the horror, when you turn off A Nightmare on Elm Street, you can turn off Friday the 13th. You can turn off all these movies, Poltergeist and all that. You can't
Mm-hmm.
turn off the reality what's going on in the hood. And that's
Mm-hmm.
the horror in it.
Yeah,
Facts.
even something as simple as going to the store is very, very dangerous.
Yep.
I don't think people understand. Like, when I was growing up on the west side, you go to the east side and hang out, man. Those niggas, it was like Planet of the Apes over there on Cedar or over there on Kinsman. And I remember like you couldn't even. I remember niggas be. This is back. I don't know if y'all remember people that like put speakers all the way through their door. This is like '05, '06. So niggas would put like speakers all the way like lining their door, right? And they be playing the music super loud. And like say you doing something, you ain't trying to hear all that music in front of the store. But dudes would play it and like want you to say something so they could trip. And you could see they would have their hand on their hip, like they was Quick Jaw McGraw. And I remember seeing like that whole thing like with Kane, and Kane was just like me growing up with great grandparents. And I thought he was a decent guy, but man, it's just like sometimes your surroundings, if you're not careful, can change you, man, and make you an evil, bad
Well,
person.
that's what happened to me, BVO. I had everything in the world, but
Right.
the hood has so much influence on a person
Mm-hmm.
because I had everything I want growing up, and
Well,
when I got to get my driver license and my grandparents bought my first car, where you think I was at? Cause the
Yeah.
hood was where it's good. That was all where my friends was at. That was where the girls was at. So I'm over there. My mom like, why you over that part of Durham? Why you in this part of? Why you over here in Durham this way? Don't be down North Durham and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, mom, no problem. And as soon as I go out that door, I go right down to there. Go to MacDougal Terrace. Go to
Mm-hmm.
Bluefield. I be all in the hood. You know what I mean? Cause I was young driving. I was 16 with a car and a license. So,
Mm-hmm.
but my mother couldn't understand. She couldn't understand. She's like, yo, I work so hard to have these houses, to have all this stuff, but yet you want to chill at Section 8 housing, public housing. She's just like, why? So I had to tell my mom, because where all the fun is. And
Mm-hmm.
then, I stayed neutral. I didn't get involved with the Bloods and the Crips. Shout out to them brothers, because they ain't all bad. You know what I mean? That ain't all bad like they
Mm-hmm.
pipe it up to be. But I stayed neutral and I just moved quietly, and I ended up being cool with everybody. You feel me? So I could go anywhere in the city and be good. No, and we ride around. We had our stuff, and I done seen stuff. I done did stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but the point I was trying to make is the hood is super influential. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
so hard to get up out of there, and I never ever lived there. But I
Mm-hmm.
know how hard it is to get up out of there because I know how hard it is for me to be like, damn, I gotta go. They be like, why you tripping? You go into this big giant house and you complaining. No, I want to stay in. I want to stay with the shorties. I want to stay in my man's crib so we can be out all night, or we can just turn up. It's a party. Everybody outside. Where I go at 7:30, 8 o'clock, man, that stuff ain't nobody outside. So
Yeah.
the hood is where it's good, and it's hard to get out of it. So
I,
it's up
I
to
just
you.
look at it. I look at it. Menace to Society was probably one of the first movies that it was a movie, but it was more so reality because
Mm-hmm.
people came up like that every day where I'm from. I mean, look, you go back and look at 50 Cent. He grew up with his grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, BVO grew up with his grandparents. A lot of people grew up with their grandparents because
I did as
they,
well. I have
their,
both.
their families, their parents was a part of the streets of the '80s. A lot of them
Mm-hmm.
either got locked up, lost their lives, or they lost custody of their kids, and so they was left to the grandparent or somebody else in the family that was more responsible. So I don't look at it as a horror movie. I look at it more of a reality movie because when I was coming up, DC was the capital. DC
Mm-hmm.
was the analyzed capital of the world for 5 years running. And
Yeah.
so it wasn't nothing unusual for me to see somebody laid out on the street. I mean, it happened every day. So, I mean, I understand that most people say, hey, that's not how you're supposed to grow up. But it's been like that since the beginning of time. You go back and look at the Roman days, they all about war and taking over people's uh, uh, their land and stuff like that. Even when the people came over here to quote unquote discover America, they took over the land from the Indians. So it's always been like that. This is something that's always been going on. It's always been a lot of violence and stuff throughout mankind history. It's not something that's new. It's always happened.
Yeah, I think the thing about and I'll say Men's Society in particular was because most guys are like Kane in the city. I would say Kane ain't a tough guy, but you're not gonna dominate him. And I could feel that same way where it's like, prime example, Kane coming out of his house, some clown talking about I heard you dissing the lane, I don't like it. It's like, what they got to do with you? you know, and it's like, and when you in the hood, it's always those dudes who are a non-threat that want to come to you with some bull crap, and then when you bring them what they're asking for, they quick to bring the cavalry. I mean, and saying, I'm sure you know exactly what I mean when you say it just be these guys where you be like, why is this clown stepping in me? He
Yeah,
know better than that.
sit down,
Right.
sir.
But
He
the
know better than that. Go ahead.
but the most dangerous part about that, and I think that people are overlooking, or maybe because you never like physically dealt with. Let's talk about when they were in the car on Minister Society and they had just did that to Kane Cousin. You know what I'm saying? Kane Cousin
Mm-hmm.
from Long Beach. I didn't like it because he was from Long Beach. I definitely didn't like
Man,
that. But
shout R.I.P. Harold,
but
man.
so
R.I.P. Harold.
so when they was in the car, if y'all remember, Kane like,
hmm
well, I ain't hit no I ain't gonna hit no old people or no kids. And old dog like, I don't give a f who out there, bro. Anybody can get it. So that means your kids can be in the streets, bro, just playing football, playing whatever. Whoever out there ain't got nothing to do with it, and boom, they gone behind something that don't have nothing to do with that. If that's not a horror, if that's not trauma, then I don't know what it is. If y'all paid attention, they were in the Jordan Down projects. My father's daddy's from Grape Street Watts. He from over there. I've been in them projects more times than I can count. You know what I'm saying? Spending
hmm
the night, spending summers in Watts. Like that ain't no
hmm
easy place to be at. You know what I'm
No,
saying? You
no.
actually see dudes running from the police, homie. You actually see unalivings, dudes getting pistol whipped, dudes getting beat on. That's horror, bro. You shouldn't have to see that
Yeah, I
as
don't
a
know what
kid
else.
and be
What
made
else?
to be normal because nothing about that is normal.
I don't know what else to call it.
I
That's
remember.
horror.
Let me just say this real quick. I remember, man. Shout out to my Uncle Phil.
What
He
goes
wasn't really my
on in the
uncle,
world?
but
Like it, it
can you hear me,
I,
Free?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. No, what I was saying was, shout out to Uncle Phil. He wasn't my real uncle. That was just one of my dad's homies. And I remember Uncle Phil had got into it with a dude and literally like gouged the man's eyes out. Like no joke. I was like 10 years old. We was outside the rec center and he popped this nigga's eyes out. And like y'all think I'm joking, the nigga's eyes was hanging like snot. And the part that got me, that still give me to this was in 1997. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Right out front, right outside of Market Park. I couldn't believe he did it. And the part that got me was nobody was saying nothing. The nigga's eyes was hanging like snot. Like, and nobody said nothing, bro. And then when the paramedics came and popped them back in, it was just like everybody outside was like it was nothing. And I just couldn't believe that kind of level of violence didn't phase anybody. You know
Is
what I
that
mean? I don't know if y'all know
But
what I
Vigo, can
mean,
I
but
say one more thing real fast?
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Real
It's
quick.
open. Go ahead.
So this is what I want to say real fast, and I want my brothers to really listen to me, bro, and how this is horror. Okay, let's talk
Yeah,
about what happened with Eilena. Kane meet
yeah,
Eilena, whoop Eilena down, right? He give
yeah,
Eilena whatever.
yeah.
It's funny how supposedly her cousin come back and he's upset. So now you done went in the middle of the Jordan Down projects. You know, it was nothing but Grape Street dudes over here because those were the roles they was playing. This dudes being from Grape, and you got
Yeah,
stomped. Now this is the
yeah,
crazy part. At the end of the movie, he had them dudes. If y'all remember, he come out the house and she like, no, this ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth it. The way she was touching him made it look like it was something different. So now you done brought these dudes
yeah.
over here and now y'all done capped up the house. What they had to do with that little boy? What did that have to do with Jada Pinkett's character? What did that have to do with them? 95% of hood beefs happen behind a woman that you have nothing to do with, that you don't even know, and it's people still being unalive today behind something that happened over 40 years ago. If that's not a
Yeah,
nightmare, then I don't understand. And it's over a woman.
it's not.
It's over a woman that
It's
you don't
not.
even know.
I mean, like I said, it could be a nightmare for some people, but like me, it's not a nightmare. It's not a nightmare. What it is reality. Just like you said, is people still being analyzed for things like that today. That's reality. It's not a nightmare. It's just reality. It is what it is. Like I said, and when BVO said he couldn't believe that people were just walking around like it was normal, when you're used to seeing stuff like that, it becomes un un. It's not as surprising. It's just like if you getting a Christmas gift and you already know what the gift is, when you open it up on Christmas, you're not surprised anymore because you already know what it is. It's if you've never seen it before, then it's surprising to you because you've never seen nothing like that before. But if you've seen it, stuff like that happen before, it's not surprising to you. You're like, man, oh, I've seen that happen before. It's like if you ever seen somebody get unalive, it will be
Yeah.
surprising to you the first time, but then after you see it happen multiple times, it's not surprising to you no more. You're like, oh, well, this is what happened when people do the things that they do out here. This is what happened. So it's just like I'm just saying. I understand what Insane is saying. It's not normal for people to walk around feeling like that, but it's reality, and it's not so much a horror. I look at it as it's reality. You just got to know how to move when you out here in the streets. You got to
That's
know how to
that,
move. If you don't
that,
know how
that,
to move, you're going to get caught up out here.
that's a
But not
fact.
even knowing how to
But
move.
when I
Let me just say this and say my bad. I don't interrupt, but let me just say this real quick. I want you guys to do like a little something fun to do, like when you get a chance. If you look up like the unalivement rate in the 70s, and I looked this up for our particular places, DC, Cleveland. I did Compton and I did Compton and Watts because that's where I could get the best numbers. We're talking about. Do you guys know the unalivement rate was like 75% of what what it was in 1990? It wasn't even those guys that we hear about. Like when you hear James Brown or you hear them guys from even the guys that was coming back from Vietnam, there was no violence like that in those neighborhoods. DC
You
was
know,
no DC was known for being a place where Negroes could come and build a good life.
but you
A
know
lot of
why?
people left. A lot of people left Louisiana, Arkansas. They come to Cleveland. They come to DC. They come to Durham, Raleigh. Them niggas was coming there to get a better life. Someone from the deep south. And you think about like because of whatever happened with the drug and Oliver Northford and Reagan, these places that I'm telling you, it's only a dream. We can only dream about what it used to be before crack cocaine, bro. And that's crazy. You think about the whole country for blacks. We only can dream about what we seen before crack cocaine hit. But go ahead, Free.
No, I was
I,
gonna say the
I
reason is because of that is because of crack cocaine, and when they brought out crack cocaine, they started releasing firearms to the black market, and
He fell
I,
down the
I can't
steps.
hear Free.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Insane.
okay. My
most of
thing
my
is this, and Free said is he back? Did he say something?
Yeah,
Okay,
we couldn't hear you, Free. Go back. Say what you were saying. Can you hear us, Free? Or did he fall back off? He must have
okay,
fell back off. Go ahead.
okay.
once
Now the
the
thing is that see
once
we
the
can.
crack cocaine came out,
Okay, there you
people
go.
started taking over territory, and they wanted to eliminate their competition. They wasn't no, oh, we just beat them up and let them go. No, they wanted to eliminate them so they wouldn't come back.
Mhm. Yeah. Go ahead, Insane.
Okay, so my thing is this per se. Let's just jump back on this. I understand what Free said, and you guys are 1,000% correct. But the thing is, we laugh and we cheer on the unaliver in horror movies like Michael Myers, and we count how many bodies he got. We count how many bodies Freddy Krueger got. We count how many bodies Jason Voorhees guys, right? But do
Mm-hmm.
you know how many bodies literally drop in the hood, bro, due to red, blue, orange, burgundy, just from a color you wear. When I decided to get put on Insane, bro, I inherited every beef that came with Insane, bro. I inherited everything. Didn't have nothing to do with me, bro. So now since I
Mm-hmm.
picked up this rag right here, I gotta worry about these dudes knocking my head off now, or I have to knock their head off now. That's horror in itself and it's trauma. And then when you end up behind the walls, let it be known when you in that state penitentiary, bro, it be your own homies that do you in though. When you hear about dudes getting what's the word can I use? Dudes getting treated like a woman, that be they
Mm-hmm.
homies doing them like that, bro. The same
Mm-hmm.
dudes that you was ready to die for and ride for, bro. That's horror in itself. Have you ever seen a prison riot before? Have you ever seen somebody, bro? I'm telling you, it's horror, bro. What they showed you, what goes on in South Central LA and what goes on in California. That is horror. That is not normal. That
Mm-hmm.
is not normal, and it was never to be normal. So what? Just like when you guys see Get Out and you see movies like that, and it's traumatizing to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get over the fact that when you walk outside, you could possibly lose your life because somebody had a bad day, or
Oh,
somebody hit somebody brother, somebody did something to somebody brother years ago, and they coming back for revenge.
that goes on
That's
every
why
day
I
out
go
here.
to
That,
Carolina
that,
the
that
same.
goes on every day.
Say it
Every
again,
day.
brother. I'm sorry.
No, that goes on every day out here. You walk out the door, it's not a guarantee that you're gonna make it back, especially if you're going around the wrong neighborhood. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my wife showed me videos every day. Somebody lost their life the night before or early that morning. Matter of fact, we rolled past the day before Thanksgiving and saw when when that group of military reserves got ambushed.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't doing that. They were just walking the street, making sure everybody stay safe.
But
And
free,
they got ambushed.
free. Can I ask you a question though, free? See, you
Sure.
can free. You can go over there and see it. They can show you clips of it. What about when you live there and you can't move nowhere else because you ain't got the money to move and you're just stuck in that environment? What about that?
No, it's not the fact of showing pictures of it. Like I said, I've been around that. It's just the fact that I was able to move out. Some people are not able to move out, but it's just part of life. It's part of
No,
life.
no, free. I wasn't personally attacking you saying that you. I'm just saying putting a situation out there. What if you're caught in a Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, a situation like that, and you can't leave? The only way you can get out this hood is football, basketball, or and there's nothing else after that. Then what? If you can't run fast, catch a ball, throw a ball, if you can't dribble the ball, shoot the three, defend, if you ain't 6'6", 6'9", whatever, you stuck right here, bro, dealing with the same things that Kane and Old Dog dealt with. What we have to understand is Old Dog was a product of his environment. Same with AWAX, same with Kane, same with Harold. Everybody, we're a product of our environment, homie.
But see that a lot of times, like Pride says, it's because they want to be there, not because they have no choice. They want to be there.
Yeah.
The same way you was able to make it out, other people are able to make it out as well if they want to make it out. A lot of times people are comfortable. They're comfortable, so they stay where they at. Because if you
Facts.
somewhere where you don't want to be, you're gonna try your hardest to get out of it. It was the same way BVO said, man, I got to do what I got to do to make sure my kids don't grow up the way I grew up. The same way when you came out of prison, you said, I am never going back there again, and you made something of your life. It's the same way anybody else can do it on these streets. They just choose not to because it's easy money, it's fast money, so they choose to stay in the street. It's not because they can't, it's because they choose not to.
Yeah, I think you got a good point for it. I think what it's saying is talking about is something a
I
little
agree with
different.
both of them. BB.
I think what you're talking about is, and this doesn't happen all the time, but there are some dudes in the hood that just become trapped. And when I say become trapped, I remember a homeboy of mine had got this girl pregnant. She had to be about maybe 10 years older than us, but it was a big deal at the time that he had got one of the girls from the projects pregnant. So he went from his mom's house across the parking lot to her house. And you would see dudes do that, and they kind of thought they was winning by doing that. And that really be the beginning of the end. And then when I look back on it, it's just like you said, you gotta want to work to get out of it. But what happens is this too, Free. You can really get around a lot of dumb niggas and really not have anybody to help you. It'd be like the blind leading the blind. It's like Ray Charles trying to show Stevie Wonder how to get to the bathroom. You know what I mean?
That
That's
was
kind of
crazy.
how I be. That's kind of how I be
That
But
because
was crazy.
I'm gonna tell you like this though. But if I want to get out of somewhere, I'm not gonna look at nobody in the hood to give me direction to get out because you're in the hood. Why? How would you be able to give me direction to get out of the hood if you're in the hood? I'm gonna be looking at somebody that's outside of the hood, whether it's my guidance counselor, my teacher, somebody at a community center. I'm gonna be looking at somebody else that's not in the hood to help me get out of the hood. I'm
But
not gonna
free,
go to somebody in the hood to get out of the hood.
but free. What about this? And I just want to say two things here. Sometimes we don't know how to get out that rat hole. Sometimes we don't know how to get out that maze because we were never taught and we didn't see that it was a better life out there. They tricked us and told us, hey, this is what you want to be. You want to gang bang. You want to do what you got to do for the hood. And it's nothing better than this. That's a nightmare in itself. They tricked us. Why they put us in jail. Why they went on vacations to the Caribbeans and they lived their best life. And this is another thing that I wanted to say. I want to bring up another movie in ATL. You remember how mad Esquire was at Nunu? He said, you
Hmm.
fake playing ghetto. You got a Picasso in your house. You can have a piss on the stairs. Don't nobody want that. But you act like you live this life, bro. But I really live it. But I want the life that you have, and you acting like you live the life that I live. You faking. You don't really want this. That's a nightmare. That's that man trying to get out of Nightmare Town and Goosebumps. He trying to get up out of there.
it's the
No, I'm
truth.
being
It's the
1000%. He
truth.
Nah.
said you
It's the
have a
truth.
Picasso in your house.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
I
mean,
Man,
felt that, bro.
I'm gonna
it's
tell
a
you something that's real. And I don't really fault prize for being in the hood because it's always a rich nigga who don't might not live in the hood, but don't live too far away, or got some family that don't live far away,
I
and they
was far
find
away.
and
I was
they
on the other
find they
side.
and they find they tell in the hood, and you know what it be? It's just that feeling of they think it's fun. But see, the thing about like people like me and you and saying we know what it's like to close the door. Because where I grew up in the front, they had these big steel doors, these big monkey cage doors, let you know, hey, monkey, when you close the door, this is steel when we shut it. That's getting your mind ready for jail. People don't realize like when you ride the bus, like the city bus with them big ass windows on it, that's humiliating, bro. They want everybody to see how broke you are. This is like before now where they try to make it seem like the city bus is glamorous, but in the 90's, riding a bus was hell. People will be on there stanking, drinking. This is before all the like public, decorum stuff you get now. And I could just say, when I was growing up, going to store at school, that's why I hated the crossing guard. I hated the lady down at the street. Only person I liked as a kid was my grandma and the Kool-Aid lady. Because the Kool-Aid lady, when I seen her, I'm about to give me a cup of Kool-Aid for 25 cents. I don't know if y'all remember that. And she would give you a bag of chips for 25 cents. So 50 cents, you get a cup of Kool-Aid, you get you a bag of chips. And that was the one thing I remember that was great about going to elementary school. Other than that, it was straight war zone. I remember niggas threw us in the snow because they could. Like, I just never, you know what I mean? It's just like when I talk about that, I'm going to give you a real thing. The reason you get O.J. Simpsons, Dennis Rodman's, Mike Tyson's, dudes who don't necessarily have an ear for the black culture, is because when you're from the hood, blacks treat you the worst. They treat you the worst. If you live in the projects and your mom live in the projects, she young and got a baby, everybody tell you how effed up your mom and dad is if they got a kid and they broke. I have my own cousin. This is a hating ass nigga. He said, your mom's broke, your grandma's broke. What you gonna do in life? And I remember on some trash, when I first got my crib, I went over to his house and said, hey, look, I got my crib. What your kids got, man? Blah, blah, blah. And I just kind of went in on him. I wanted him to say something so I could punch on him, to be honest with you, but he didn't. He said, "You know what, man? I shouldn't have said that." But when you get that stuff said to you your whole life, it just turns you to a monster. My bad. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, I got another one real quick, and this is real fast, bro. What about, and this is how this is once again at Menace to Society.
Mhm.
Everybody knew that Old Dog was a Matt was
A
what's the word?
tyrant.
Psychopath.
A
Let's say a
Psychopath.
tyrant.
psychopath. He was a
Yeah.
psychopath with a weapon. We all knew that what Old Dog was. The sad part is niggas walking around the hood like that right now. That's breaking in dudes' houses, bro. Taking stuff from women, and I'm not saying just like taking valuables from women, bro, and unaliving brothers, bro. And they gotta sit back and say nothing. You have to watch the destruction of your community, watch the destruction of your peers, bro, and you have to sit back and say nothing because a nigga call you a snitch. If that ain't
Yeah.
horrific, I don't know what it is, bro. Or I have to, or you did this, y'all did this, but they picked me up for it, and I know I'm innocent, and I can't say a word, bro, but I gotta go do 25 to life while y'all messing with my mama, my sister, my girl, my daughter when she grow up after, you know what I'm saying? Y'all doing
Yeah.
everything to destroy me. Y'all ain't send me no money. The craziest shit I've never seen in my life, bro. Niggas, let me, hold on. Okay. One of my homies was unalive, bro. Nobody had nothing for his parents, bro. Nobody had nothing for his parents to bury them. They wasn't out there doing no fish fries. They wasn't doing none of that, bro. But guess what? They showed up to the funeral fly, though. I bet you they showed up to the funeral fly, though. $200 J's on, $1,500 fish, but you didn't have nothing for this, bro, bro,
Yeah,
That, that's
niggas
that's
is snakes.
bro.
that's exactly
That's
what
why I
That,
had to get up out of North Carolina and saying I was doing too much and it caught up to me, and I had to go before I get my mama killed.
I'm,
that
I'm
was
I'm
the reason
telling
why
y'all,
I never
bro.
joined them.
Boys in the Hood, and Menace to Society, bro, is a horror movie for the people that live that life, bro. That constantly has to wake up to that, bro. That can't get a good night's sleep because there's gun violence that you hear every night, bro. It's a horror movie, my nigga, and they showed it to you, and they and they made it seem like it was cool and popular to glorify the hood, and that's why Crippin' and Bloodin' is split it around the world right now, bro. In every state you go to, it's some Crippin' and Bloodin' going on. Not understanding, bro, where it stems from. The dudes that lost their life behind this. But
Yeah,
we don't
everybody
look.
I
think
mean,
But the crazy part is
it's
we all
more of a
gang bang,
fashion
bro. But
statement.
you can't never point to a dude that ever took out nobody outside of his race though. But it's always the nigga that he go after though. That's a horror in itself.
but see, that was the thing. Like Crippin, when you was Crip and Blood wasn't originated like that. They was originated to take care of the community and stand up against the injustice of the police department. That's what they originally started from. But then the drugs and stuff came into the community, and the Crips, the people that was running the Crips and running the Bloods, they wanted to make money, and so that's how we got the guys doing what they're doing now. But that's not where it originally started from. They started from doing the right things for the people of the community. But I mean, a lot of people just if you don't follow the history of the Bloods and the Crips, you just think it was all about gang violence all the time. But that's
Nah,
not
they
what.
they used to be cool.
Yeah, they was about the people in the community. But because of the greed and the power hunger of individuals, it got to what it is now.
And
Yeah,
and you
Yeah.
1000% correct, bro. But what I'm saying is everything takes a turn for the worse. And that and when the drug era hit LA, LA took a turn from the worst. And that's a horror in itself, bro. When you ain't
yeah.
got no school clothes, bro, and your mom done smoked everything off, bro, or y'all out on the streets and you think she paid rent, or you gotta come home, bro, and you ain't got nothing to eat, bro, and you can't feed your little brothers and sisters, bro. When a baby is just born and the mama and you can't even feed the baby no milk and nothing like that because mom is strung out. And it's your homies that's giving it to her. It's your homies. Kane and them was selling work, bro, in the set, tearing down their community, and they didn't even understand, bro. You tearing down the community for what? A pair of Dickies and a 40 ounce? Come on, homie, for a Regal? You done destroyed these kids' lives. But we not under. But like I say, we laugh when it's Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, and all that, and we can turn off the channel. You can't turn off what's really going on, bro. You can't turn Menace to Society off because it's still happening. It's still happening right now. Let's be talking about it now. That's why it's a horror movie. We just glorified it.
And you know what I will say though? I'm gonna tell you something funny. That it's funny that you say that, insane. Because now, like when I go to church, there's some kids there, and I can see it in them that they want to be good. They want to be good kids, and it's like the allure of being a street nigga is so powerful, even for them, because it sucked being a poor dude with the beat up shoes. It sucked being a guy who don't smell nice or look nice. It just sucks, dog. I remember, man, just that hopelessness, man. And I remember we used to be this kid named Jason, another kid named Brandon. And Brandon lived like right outside of the projects, right? You ever like, they have houses like right outside the projects with my man Showtime Shelton. And I remember thinking like, how does this dude got all this stuff? And I remember wanting to take his life on some trash because I didn't have what he had. And I thought about it to myself, like, you know what? That's crazy how in the hood you want to hurt somebody so bad because they got what you don't got. Or you like me, you and your doggone school uniform arguing with high schoolers because you want to let them high school niggas know they can get it too. Not because they did nothing, but you just letting them know when I come down the street, don't you say nothing to me. You know what I mean? And I can't explain it, man. It's just funny when I think about it now because, man, I was so ultra aggressive back then. It was crazy, man. And I still think about it now. Like, I could have been doing better. I could have been somewhere reading the books and stuff, but I wasted a lot of time, man, as a kid, hyped up on psycho medicine and, playing crazy so I can go home. Because I don't know if they do this anymore. In the youth authority, you can play crazy and get to go home. You're gonna have you a bunch of pills, but you're going home. I'm just being real.
I told you, BVO, I went to Camp Scobie because I didn't want to go to youth authority, bro, and we had to take pills. But let me segue in this to say this real fast. I'm not trying to take up all the time or nothing like that. I just want to just spit this.
No, we're a good conversation, man.
Heart, though, homie. If you look at Tales from the Hood, bro, that ain't nothing but a continuation of Boyz in the Hood, bro. In a Menace of society. Look at Crazy Case situations. Look at the dudes that was going to go get the ish. They didn't even know, bro, that, you know what I'm saying? Look at Crazy Case situation, bro.
Yeah.
Like really think about that, bro. That's ain't nothing but a continuation, homie.
You know what that is too, insane? That's Chicago and Cleveland. What these dumb niggas wanting to do drill music. It's the same thing. I remember they had this rapper named Lil Pappy, right? Because I'm from the Midwest. You like, yo,
Lil Pappy, all right, though.
Yeah, he was good till he passed away, but Lil Pappy was so good. And I'm like, he gonna blow. He gonna blow. Next thing you know, he was dead. I remember listening because I heard Chief Keef really, really early. And I was thinking like, yo, who is this dude? I used to hear that song, Don't Like. This is before Kanye West came and did the whole remix and all. This is when he just had the song in his grandma's living room going crazy, saying I don't like and all that. But you know what's so funny? If you think about it, the only dude that really survived from that time is Chief Keef because he left. I remember him, Fredo Santana. Fredo Santana used to be walking around because they used to all have like they used to look like Ethiopian kids. They would have fat bellies and stuff from drinking all that lean. And all they was doing was drinking lean, eating burgers. And you think about that time now, you think about all those guys that passed. Lil JoJo. You know what he said? These brothers spin 300. You know what I mean? Just going crazy. Like, I could just remember that feeling of them dudes coming out hot, and then they just end up passing away, one after the other. And it was like L.A. Capone. When people say Tuka, they don't realize Tuka was a little bitty kid standing at the bus stop and got blasted. This wasn't even no gangster. If you call a 12-year-old a gangster, man, you got to be joking. He just happened to be from the neighborhood, and most times if you're from the neighborhood, you down with the hood anyway. They usually don't jump niggas in their own hood. They usually don't jump niggas in their own hood. They usually don't. And I just think about that time, like it was a movie called Colors. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Colors.
Yep, I'm familiar with Colors.
For sure.
The reason you have a Crip and blood problem in America is because of Colors. There's no other movie that did that. When people start seeing Colors, that movie changed how people thought. where they started to glorify, LA gang culture and stuff. Because if you think about LA gang culture, I'm gonna be real with you, that's little kid stuff. A grown man was walking around named Tookie. That's a kid name. Barefoot, what was his name? Barefoot, I can't think of dude's name, but a lot of all those Crip guys, man, they had like kid names. Because that was something they was doing as kids.
BVO, you going in a little bit too deep, brother. But let me segue for a second.
I'm saying, what I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to, this in no way am I disrespecting. I'm not disrespecting. I'm saying that was something some kids was doing. That's what I'm saying.
You got to understand, BVO. You got to understand that all of this stuff that we talking about right now, it was a purpose. It was supposed to happen that way. They wanted to glorify so they can get these people and keep them in a I guess a boundary, because they know if these guys join the gang, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna knock each other off.
Yeah,
it's less work for them to do. They gotta worry about is sit back and let them knock each other off. Why do you think in certain neighborhoods it takes so long for the police department to get there, but in the other neighborhoods the police department shows up right away? It's because they want them to go ahead and knock each other off, so it's less work they got. I mean, I'm just being honest. I done seen stuff happen, and this is before I ever became law enforcement, was one of the reasons why I decided to join law enforcement. I done seen stuff happen, and there's like 2 or 3 police cars sitting around the corner at a gas station, and we sitting there saying, "Hey man, they over here doing this and that," and they just sitting there chilling. They were like, "Okay, we're gonna call it in," and they would sit there for like another 5 or 10 minutes before they go. Stuff like this happens on a regular day basis. Is because they want they a lot of this stuff is pre-programmed to knock off a certain type of people. That's the reason why drugs was brought into the country. That's the reason why guns was let into the into the country, is because they wanted to knock off a certain type of people. That's the reason why, quote unquote, this whole COVID situation came about. That's the reason why. They wanted to knock off a certain type of a certain group of people. It just spread it beyond their control. The same way crack did, the same way the gang violence did, it spread it beyond their control. Now it's out of control, and they got to try to figure out how to deal with it. Same thing with COVID. It got out of control. They didn't expect it to spread them as much as it did. And now they had to figure out how to take care of it. So all this stuff happens for a reason. It's not by accident. It's not by accident why it happened. It happens for a reason.
Okay. And what I'm saying is, let me say this real quick and saying, because I want to make sure people hear what I'm saying and don't get caught up in the whole element of it. What I'm saying is this: when you listen to those guys, and only because I read a lot, that's the reason I know this. You think about what's going on in West LA, and West LA was the same thing going on in East Cleveland. You had people doing stuff to black neighborhoods, and people don't realize when Malcolm X died in 1965, there was some anger, right? Then when Martin Luther King died in 68, it just ramped up, because Medgar Evers actually died first in 64. And it was just like a line of our leaders getting hit. And you got these young babies trying to figure out what they can do to change their neighborhood. And what always happens is you get a lot of power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely every time. When you get a lot of power, you get into some BS, because one thing that people forget about that LA really was known for in the 70s was bodybuilding. Look at some of them. What's that, man? It's so many of them dudes that you look at from like the 70s that was doing their thing in the Crip world. Them dudes was bodybuilders, man. Like, I look at it now because I'm trying to get into it myself. For real, BVO wants to get into that myself. And I'm like, you got these dudes bodybuilding, working out, taking care of themselves. And instead of them being able to focus on that, there was a reason why they finding crates of weapons. See, people don't bring that up. They were finding crates of weapons by train tracks. These were strategically planted in these neighborhoods. The same thing in Cleveland, when you got guys finding crates of grenades and all this other stuff. And it's like, who bought that there? We ain't got no planes, man. Like, and same thing in Chicago, right?
Right.
You got guys. And this might be a little too deep. They're using ether to get high, right? Do you know
That's
people don't realize
crazy.
ether's explosive?
Yeah.
Who who uses ether?
Yeah,
That ought
I
to
mean,
tell you.
I
That
I
ought to tell
remember
you
when
how.
Nas used ether on Jay-Z.
yeah, I mean,
But no,
I
let me
use
go ahead.
ether in the military. No, I was gonna say I use ether in the military, so I know how dangerous ether is. I
Yeah,
use it in the military.
What can I
I'm
can I
talking
can I
about
segue
people was
real
using.
fast?
Go ahead. I'm about to say this. No, go ahead. They was using ether to get high with. You think that was? You think that was? You think that was an accident? And I don't like to be that Black Power dude, but hey, it's rough. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to say two things. Y'all notice in Boys in the Hood, y'all notice in Boys in the Hood and in Menace Society, bro. The girl always go for the gangster dude. They always want the
Yeah.
gangsters, homie. So that's how young dudes see it too. Oh, she want a gangster. She want a dude out here making this paper. She want a G. You know what I'm saying? And women even say it now. I want a roughneck. I want somebody like that, right? But let me segue into this, and it was good that my brother D Free is here, and that my brother D Free said that because I want him to elaborate on this. Another thing that we seen in movies like Colors and Boys in the Hood and things like that is how another big gang that we never speak on that is a gang, and that's the police department. How crooked and ruthless they are because they were some of the ones that was doing a lot of the unaliving and blaming it on other black dudes. The sheriff department in Los Angeles County had the most narcotics in it, period. It was
Hmm.
like, what about all the cricket things that they do? What about the unalivings that they do in the community, bro? And they get away with it because they have a badge or because they think they're above somebody. No, the Los Angeles Police Department and every other the police department around the world are crooked. They worse than gangbangers. They even got gangs inside of the police department.
Hmm.
But we
Yeah,
look
I mean,
past that, though. We look past it, though. Because let me guess, they supposed to uphold the law?
no, I
I tr-
mean the
I
thing
trust
is
the inmate before I trust the officer. My bad. Go ahead,
the
brother.
no, I was gonna say the police department is the biggest gang in the world or in the United States. It's the biggest gang in the United States because regardless of what state they go to, all they got to do is let them know that they're there, and they got people looking out for them. Oh, I mean, you gotta, and like I said, that was one of the reasons why I decided to get into law enforcement because I saw how certain police officers was not protecting and serving the community. So I was like, nah, they supposed to be serving and protecting the community. They're not even doing nothing. They sitting back letting stuff happen. And I was like, nah, something got to change. And so that's why I joined because I wanted to make a change from what I saw. And some of it changed, but a lot of it stayed the same or got worse. But it just like a lot of this stuff is planned. A lot of this stuff is orchestrated, and so you just gotta understand what it's really about because you can't tell me drugs came into this country and nobody knows how they got here. The government don't know how they got here. There ain't, and you're not going to be able to just bring a boat over to a border or just use a boat to get over here or fly a plane over here and nobody pay attention to you and nobody say anything. Now I understand you might be able to sneak it over one time, maybe two times, but multiple times and the loads that was coming over, there was no way that people wasn't saying, okay, yeah, we see that, let's go ahead and let them go. Or we'll knock down this shipment, but we'll let some of it float over, or we'll go pick up some and then dump it somewhere and let somebody else get it. A
You
lot
know
of this
what that
stuff was planned.
that's funny that you say that because now I wanted to segue into the Alphabet Boys, and one Alphabet Boy I wanted to segue into is J. Edgar Hoover, who said when black people unite that we're the most this is the most dangerous group of all. You know what I'm saying? The uprising of a black messiah. So what he did was he directly attacked the black community, like I say, with the gangs, with the guns, with the drugs and everything else. So are we going to speak on J. Edgar Hoover weaponizing the law enforcement against us, federal and state? Should we talk about that as well, or no? Should we look past that because he's the part of the problem as well? He's the part of the horror movie that we don't speak of because he's the big spook in the back. He's the spook behind the door.
Yeah,
That's
I
really
mean,
Michael Myers right there. That's really Freddy Krueger right there. That's the dude out the Ouija board right there. And it's crazy that the law enforcement, it'll be a guy that hates the melanin in your skin, bro, for no apparent reason, but yet he's supposed to protect him and serve? Oh, nah, but you wonder how little Jimmy and them got beat. You wonder how the body was like this or that. This is reality. That's why
I
I
was
say
thinking that
Boys in the
now.
Hood. That's why I say
I was,
it's a horror movie because it's a reality horror movie. But yet we
I
don't
tell you
speak on
right
these
now.
things though.
Freddy, Jason, Michael Texas Chainsaw Massacre, any
Hold on,
other
that was real.
horror monster that you could think of, they all combined into one is in the office right now. That's them right there. All of them combined into one is in the office right now.
You
He's,
cold, Rick.
no, he is
I ain't speaking
worse
on
than
Big T.
he's worse than any other person we had in office by a long shot. He's worse than anyone. You can name anybody else. I guarantee you, he's worse than them. I guarantee you, he's worse than
I never seen us as Americans kidnap people, man. So just leave it at that.
them. No, do y'all realize this man just kidnapped a whole president?
And getting away with it.
They kidnapped a whole president.
That's crazy.
What my man said on Godfather's do it while we got the muscle.
That's crazy. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, hold up. Did y'all just say what I think y'all just said? Did y'all say we went into Venezuela and kidnapped the president? Where they do that at?
I got one even better for you though, Free. The same guy you're talking about, the spook behind the door, Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy Krueger, and all that. He just pulled us out of the UN, all the trees from the UN, and those things. Dealing with children, dealing with Africa, dealing with all these things because he don't want any overseers or take accountability for the things that he do. That's something that you guys need to look up
And
because that
see,
affects everybody.
this is what I was telling
Welcome to America.
BVO. This is what I was telling BVO. This is what I was telling the right side. They were like, no, he's for the blacks. He did this with the blacks. I said, dog, that ain't nothing but a wolf in sheep clothing. They do that to get you on their side, and then they say, "Bow, gotcha," and they jump out on you, and you like, damn, I didn't see this coming. I saw it coming. I saw it coming a mile away. This is what they do. I was like, dog, you can't tell me that this dude was like. I've sat here and listened to some of the stuff that he said, and I'm like, nah, he's enticing these people to do this. He's not against it. So, do y'all know he took down the whole Black Lives Matter street? Like they dedicated a street to the whole George Floyd and all those people that lost their lives to the injustice of the police department. And he took the street away. It's not even there anymore. It's not there at all.
Free,
They
can I
took
ask you?
all of the paint is gone. The name of the street is gone. He took all of it away.
Right, free. Can I tell you this though? And my brother BVO and my brother Prize and everybody else that's out there listening. Let me tell y'all how Get Out segues into Boys in the Hood and the Menace to Society. Do y'all remember when she was hypnotizing the dude and she'd say a certain word and he'd be hypnotized? Or how the white guys was taking over the black people body. Y'all want to know how that segued into those two movies? I'll tell y'all. They're programming. They're doing the same thing. They're just programming you through music and things you see. I remember we had TV shows like Family Matters and things like that growing up, where we all seen a black family together, wife, husband, children. Everybody was doing good. We had multiple shows like that. Now
Yep.
you get the reality shows, the baddies and all that. Then you got gangster rap because that done turned the youth out. They using the 808s and the beats and things like that. So we're still getting hypnotized. It's still Get Out. It's still Get Out.
And,
They
and let
just
me tell
showed
y'all something.
they showed you that. Go ahead, my bad, brother. Go
No,
ahead.
I just want to say, add to what you said. I want you to finish, but Easy E and Dr. J, NWA didn't make no gangster music like that. They had songs like Express Yourself. Them dudes wasn't really making no gangster music like that, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, but okay, like I said, even dealing with that, they just told you what was going on in Los Angeles because well, in Compton, because people wouldn't believe it because they live in these suburban areas, and oh, it's good when we go outside. Oh, we talk to the mailman and neighbors. The cops come over and eat humble pie and get, and you know what I'm saying? No, it's not like that for us. That gang over there wearing the blue that's supposed to protect us, they're the one that's violating us the most. But back to what I was saying about the Get Out movie. They're just programming us the same way she tried to program him. And guess what? They getting us by the millions and the millions because everybody want to gangbang. Everybody want to clip. Everybody want to do this. Every female want a fake body. Every female want to, she don't want to do it unless he can pay her or he got to make 6 figures or 7 figures and she does nothing and she does nothing. They have successfully destroyed the African American race.
And gang banging and went commercial too, because I'm like, how people like Chris Brown and all them, everybody claiming this set. I'm like, man, when did they have time? You grew up on TV.
You know what's funny? Gary, Indiana is like a very Crip area, right? You ain't never heard Michael Jackson talk about no Crips.
I seen him in videos with him though.
Well, I'm just saying, you never heard Michael Jackson. And I think Michael Jackson got some ties, got some ties to the Trey boys because that's what's out there in Gary. But you never heard Michael Jackson say no stupid stuff like, "Oh, I'm part of a gang." What?
No, see, but the thing is, a lot of those celebrities are getting extorted. They're getting extorted by the gangs, and so they just take on the gang. They take on and say they're part of the gang or whatever because they paying those gangs to basically for protection and not get robbed. They getting extorted by the gangs the same way they do in jail. If you wanna be cool, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. We need this from your commissary. We need this from your commissary. They come with a list of what they need from your commissary. The gangs doing the same thing to a lot of these celebrities that go over there because before they go over there, you don't hear them part of a gang or none of that. You think Chris Brown really got jumped into a gang? You think Lil Wayne got jumped into a gang? No, these guys are being extorted.
You know what's funny about that? As soon as Mac 10 went to Cash Money,
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
No,
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 I'm just saying, and Mac, I'm saying that
And
because
Mac
Mac 10
10 really from over there. Yeah,
and
no.
Mac
Terry
10
really
one
from
of
over
my
there.
Do y'all realize when Lil Wayne first came out with the Hot Boys and Cash Money, he was a Crip. Now all of a sudden he's a Blood.
Well, they was over there in the grave streets. That's crazy how I segue back to Menace Society because they was all in the grave streets in Watts,
Yeah,
in Jordan Down
he was.
Projects.
because
Go look at some of Lil Wayne's first videos when he first came out with the Hot Boys. He's
With them
wearing the
blue
blue
rags on.
flag, blue and everything. He blew everything. Now,
Mhm.
since he got older, he went solo before he left Lil Baby or whatever. That man, him and Lil Baby, I guess Lil Baby was a Blood, so he ended up moving over to being a Blood or whatever. But that man was a Crip, or he was quote unquote saying he was a Crip. I don't know if he really was or not, but that's because those were the colors that he was repping.
no, I just think, and maybe this is me saying too much on the internet, but I think people don't realize who Mac 10 is, and Mac 10 probably had a
Yeah,
lot to do with that.
yeah, Tim really from Queen Street, so yeah, he
Shout
really
out
from over
Mac
there.
9.
He really
I'm gonna
from
tell you,
over there.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. People don't realize that Mac 10, those albums you seen with the West Side Connection came out on Mac 10's label. That wasn't on Ice Cube. Look it up. That wasn't on Lynch Mob. That
It was on
wasn't
Who
on Lynch
Banging.
Mob. Who Banging? Look at that. It was on Who Banging Records. Every single before they had they little altercation with his wife's brother.
Yes, yes.
Mac 10 is that guy, bro.
No. He said that a long time ago. He said no. He said Max Simmons really a gangbanger. He's really in the streets like that.
Well, him and Dub C.
Yeah, him and
I'm
Dub
about to
C.
say, what about Dub
Nah,
C?
Dub really from
Dub C
111.
was in the street, but Dub C wasn't as
And Doug is a
wild
rapper,
as
man.
he
Doug is a
wasn't as
rapper,
wild
man.
and crazy as Max
I
Simmons
think
was.
I think y'all don't know Dub C
Hold
like
on,
that.
let me say this real fast. Dub C really from 111, and Dub C really like that. He just knew how to rap. That Dub C is really like
No,
The
that.
no, no.
story
I'm
that
not
I
No,
saying
heard
that.
about
I'm not.
Dub
I'm
C
not.
that
I'm not
he
saying.
was
I'm
about
not saying
that
Dub C.
action.
I'm not saying Dub C wasn't like that or anything like that. I'm just saying Mac 10 was. It's almost like Kane and O Dog. Both of them was from the streets or whatever, or in the streets. But O Dog was a real crazy one, and Kane was more laid back. And that's how I look at Mac 10 and Dub C. Dub C is more laid back, but if he has to get his hands dirty, he will. Mac 10 was more of the crazy one that nobody wanted to mess with because that dude would do something in a heartbeat. So
Have you
that's
guys
how
ever
I
played
look
it?
at it.
Have you guys ever played a game called Grand Theft Auto?
What?
I never
Grand
played
Theft
that. I
Auto
don't like
5?
that
Of
game.
course.
What was the guy's name? Franklin?
Franklin, yeah.
The guy that voiced Franklin was a guy that somehow accidentally Ice Cube's chain fell around his neck. And Mac 10, Mac 10, unfortunately, the man lost his clothes, and Mac 10 had the man running around without his clothes, with his clothes being lost. So, I
Can,
mean,
can I say something real fast? Let me D Free, it's crazy that you say that about O Dog because O Dog ended up becoming Lieutenant Governor of New York. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
or his
Our
next
Big
movie,
Free know what I'm talking about.
his
I
next
know what you're
movie,
talking about.
he a retard hanging out with the chick from House Party. So, I mean,
But as you see,
Yeah, we got Smack Carrier.
he became the governor of New York, but he was still dirty.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, he
Right.
was.
hold on.
You know another movie that I like to speak about is Jason's Lyrics, bro. Jason's Lyric. Jada Pinkett was so fine in that movie. Let me just say it off the
Yes,
drip.
indeed.
Jada was fine in that. But to see your brother unalive your father because he was putting his hands on your mother is traumatizing as well because a lot of dudes in the hood have to actually go through that. That's one thing. And another thing, to have your brother be in and out of prison, bro, and come home and you love him so much, steal from your mama, bro, then unalive the only woman that you ever loved, well, the two women that you loved. That's a horror movie in itself. Who want to do that with their brother? Like, you love your brother. I would never do nothing to my brother because I love him too much. But you doing all of this, bro, and you take him from me. That's not
And
horror. That's not a horror movie in itself.
you know what I will
I
say? That stuff was crazy, man, because, people
I
don't even realize how stupid that was.
Just
That whole thing was stupid. Go ahead, my bad, Free.
no, I was gonna say no. I've seen. I got a story of these twin brothers I grew up with. They were twin brothers, and they wasn't real close to me, but they was around my neighborhood, and I knew them. And they was at a dice game, and they got into it. And one twin brother
Stop.
ended up analyzing the other twin brother
Stop.
and getting locked up for life. So the mother lost both her sons over $300. One brother took out the other brother, and he ended up getting life in jail. And the mother lost two sons in the same night.
hmm
man, that's horror, bro.
I'll
That's
tell you
crazy,
something
bro.
wild, man. I'll tell you something wild. It's just that over and over again, blacks are losing. And whenever we bring up our existence or whatever we going through, it's always called reverse racism and stuff like that. It's just like, it's a joke, man. It's a joke. You had, and one thing that always made me sad, people don't realize Tamir Rice was like 10 years old, man. He was a little kid just playing in the park, and some clown took his life. And say what you want about Big George, man. That dude who called the police about that $20 bill, I bet he feels like shit. Excuse my language.
He probably don't though, because
No,
the
he he
react.
he said he did. It was a black kid who called the police about a fake
Oh,
$20 bill. He
black.
said that. He said he felt horrible because he didn't want that to happen to George. He just wanted to not get in trouble for
And,
taking a fake 20.
and you know what's crazy about that? That segued into Tales from the Hood 3 when they spoke on situations like that with Emmett Till and the situation that happened with him. Horrific situation, bro. And they spoke on things that happened to like George Floyd and all these guys. were sacrifices, bro, that comes from the same communities that we come from. You may put Cleveland on it. I may put Long Beach on it. They may put Compton on it or anywhere else. But the same things are going on in these environments, bro. Because Get Out showed us that they're mind manipulating us, and they made it okay to be happy with poverty. You only cool if you're in poverty. Make that make sense.
You know what? I'll just say this. It's tough too, because even when you do well, you always got like the niggas who never did nothing with their life. They want to give you hell. I don't know, man. I just say this. I'm glad we took a time away from boxing to talk about this, but it's just sad, man, because kids are losing all over, especially black kids, man. These kids are still going to jail. These kids it's sad, man. I was reading about this young kid, he 10 years old. Another kid that was 13 popped him in the face with a water gun. You know what I mean? Over them having a dispute. What is a 13-year-old doing with a water gun? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah, they easy to get now. They right at the corner stores.
Well, real water in it. Like, what in the world? And you look at these kids, man. I see some. I don't know if y'all ever see it, but because I go to church, I see it. Because I live in the suburbs. But when you see these kids, man, they got haircuts. Their shoes too small. Their shoes worn down. I remember dudes used to put tacks on the back of their forces, so they wouldn't run down as fast. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that. They would put like a metal tack.
Is that real?
They would put a metal tack under their shoe, under the soles of their shoe, because when you're walking, it wears the shoes down slower. I don't know if you ever wore Air Forces. They run down fast when you wear forces. We used to call them uptowns. When you wear uptowns, they kind of the bottom. If you ever notice the bottom always, if you got uptowns, the bottom always have holes in it. You know what I'm talking about? By the heel, that's where the forces always run down there, right? So Castle put a metal thumbtack on there so it wouldn't run it down. Like, you ever had taps on? I don't know if you guys ever put taps on your shoes before. It's the same type of thing where it just will wear the shoes down slower. And I remember seeing dudes do that, and like, I remember we go home, dudes would have a fresh Ali Fubu outfit on, and fresh, fresh Nikes, and then they go home and they can comb their hair in the back of their fridge. I remember growing up. I remember that, man. Like, you coming home, and, like, when I would go stay with my mom, not when I was with my grandma, when I stayed with my mom, man, you could comb your hair in the back of that fridge, bro. But she got cable, she got everything, but ain't no food now. You know what I mean? I remember about one dude introduced me to hot sauce chips out of being hungry. He's like, yo, man, I'm about to go I ain't got no money to go to the store and get no hot chips. He's like, man, F that. My man pulled out the Texas Pete, grabbed a plastic bag, some chips. We had hot chips for the fry. I had never seen nobody put hot sauce on chips. You know what I mean? I know that sounds crazy, but
nah, that's real. Nah, that's real. Bro.
I had never seen that. Or my man said, you know what? Let's make a sandwich. I'm like, make a sandwich for we ain't got no meat. My man took 2 pieces of white bread, toasted it, threw the mayo on it. We used to eat Miracle Whip back then. Put the Miracle Whip on it, and then he put it back in the oven, got a nice little brown on it, cut it in half, and we had wish sandwiches. And I was like, dang, I never had a sandwich this good. And you know what it is? Just being desperate and wanting to have something. That's why now Miss BVO roasts me all the time, because I got so many shoes and stuff, because I'll be just thinking about all the Jordans and all the Charles Barkleys I wanted, and now I got them. You ever think of it like, I got too many shoes to even wear?
Right.
I ain't trying to hear it. I'm getting all the stuff that my mom wouldn't. That's one thing that my parents be BSing on, is some clothes. You know what I mean? They'd be like, you got a car, we got your car payment and all this stuff. I pay my own car payment, you know? But my mom, the only time I would get new shoes and stuff was like my birthday, Christmas, and that was it. And my birthday is pretty much Christmas. It's 3 days after Christmas. So I would go get my own shoes. You know what I mean? I used to have to hide my clothes because my mom be so nosy back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had to move. Like, I had to go put her clothes on. Then I had to go in my car and get dressed And I couldn't be coming in the house with no Averex jackets and stuff. She ain't moving. My mom would have been snapping.
That Avy used to go with the
Man,
Avy
I
girls.
used to keep my joint in my
Go.
whip so my mom wouldn't take my joint. So I stayed out of trouble. So my dad wouldn't take my whip because all my clothes was in there. Like I had them behind I had some kickers. I had some kickers. Some some kickers, some 10, what they were 12s. I had some I had some punch 12s in my car. That joint's the hit. And I had the 2 amps hooked up to it. I used to keep my clothes behind all that stuff. You know what I mean? I would ball them up, man, keep them at my friend's crib. They couldn't wear my clothes anyway. And I didn't care if they did. You know what I'm saying? Keep them at a girl, 2 house. You know what I mean? Because my mama be on my heels because that's one thing she be BS. I'm like, they be like, because I remember the boy told me, he's like, man, how you live over there and your shoes look like that? Because all the kids from the hood, they had all the Jordans and stuff. Man, my
Yup.
mom wasn't buying no damn $125 Jordans. You better go talk to your grandmother. My grandparents would buy them. But yet again, that's December. And, that's December. I had to wait till December to get gear. You know what I mean? I got tired of niggas was like, man, I used to be looking like, man, these niggas' shoes is nice, man. Ma, can I get some shoes? No. The mortgage is due. No. Electric is due. My mom be like, look around. This is where all your stuff go to. No, you go to school and a fashion show. This and that. And I used to get heated, bro. I was like, man, you know what? And that drove me to the hood. That drove me to get into stuff, doing stuff with gangs and hanging around with the wrong people. And then my good friend, mom got unalived, and my mom shipped me to New Jersey.
I remember my dude. I'll never forget this, man. My dude was shout out to my homeboy Kenneth, man. He used to be at
Yeah.
the crib.
Smash the like button.
Yeah,
Come on
definitely
now.
smash like. But my homeboy Kenneth used to be at the crib all the time by himself, right? And so one day, me and Kenneth and another dude get into it. Now I'm like probably at 12, 13. I'm probably like 6'1". And so I get into it with this grown dude or whatever. And he said something to me, and I said, I was like 12 or 13. I said, man, I got heat for niggas like you. And I had heard that on Baby Boy. I didn't know that meant a weapon. I
Right.
just thought that meant I was mad and I was gonna put hands on you. And because I came up with Cap still throwing hands, and I ain't talking about putting the peace sign. And dude came back. He came back with the Roscoe, and I remember he knocked on my back door and said, "You want it, man?" As soon as I seen it, I tried to beat the life out of him. I'll be honest with you. And I think about it, I would have never thought he would have came back with no weapon. That's how bad it is to let these kids be unattended, man. That's why I like to see my daughter at 7. At 6, she must be 7 on February 5th. I like to see my daughter talking about what is it, Gabby? Some little Puerto Rican chick. You ever seen Gabby with the little ears, with the little cat ears? I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but
Can I
it's
can I can I
go
can I
ahead.
jump in here for a second?
Do you think?
So let me get back to what we was talking about just for a hot
Go ahead.
second. And this is why Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood are horror movies as well, because we have other ethnicities coming
Mm-hmm.
into the neighborhoods that we've been forced to stay in. They're buying stores, liquor stores. They're buying everything up pretty much, and we have to go do business with them. And the amount of disrespect that they show us is uncanny. You have a Chinese lady in 94, 92 unalived a black girl for not giving her
Mm-hmm.
a change. You have situations even in Minister Society where that man said, I feel sorry for your mother, because he just
Mm-hmm.
asked for his homeboy change. Understand, bro, in reality, that black American, bro, we don't get no slack, bro. We don't get no slack from nobody. They have successfully turned everybody against us, bro, and they show it. They show it in the streets, whether you see it or not. They show it when you go into these businesses and they looking up at the mirrors or they looking at the cameras at you. But you have to
Mm-hmm.
shop there. You have to do business there because this is the closest thing in your neighborhood. So the best thing I can advise anybody that's in the hood that love those hood movies and things like that, turn off the movie. Go get an education and get out of those situations because everybody's against you. Everybody's against the black man no matter what. I don't care what nobody say. Even black men that comes from other lands, they're against the black American.
Yeah.
And when you see these movies, wake up because they're telling you what's going on. So I believe in my whole heart that it's a horror movie because it's a reality. And the things from that movie happens in reality. Everything. I ain't trying to get preachy. I'ma pass it.
Let me play this before you slide go, man.
Nigga, keep God in your life. Fuck, nigga, keep God in your life.
That's what you gotta do, man. I don't care what nobody tell you,
That was
man.
crazy.
I don't care what
That
nobody tell
I
you.
don't know where he got that from. That was insanity at its best.
I don't care what nobody say, man. As my uncle, as my man Bishop Don Juan said it best. I don't care if you're going in the bank. I don't care if you're going to do what. Whatever you do, dumb nigga, keep God in your life. That's what I tell you, man. Because God will do it, man. Like he'll do it, man. He'll bring you out the hood, man. He'll bring you out. I mean, BVO is a hood brother, man. I'm talking about roaches and rats, man, and water and cornflakes. When I was a kid, we used to go to the food stamp line when I was staying with my mom, and they would give us paper food stamps.
Yep.
And my mom would give me a food stamp and tell me, yeah, go down there to the food stamp spot, go down to the Dairy Mart, get some chip chop ham. So yup, I never heard of chip chop ham. We'll get some chip chop ham, we'll get a pound of that BS. That's straight trash. And then come back with some, and we would get white bread, chip chop ham, and noodles. I used to hate to stay with my mom because at my grandma's house, we eating smothered cabbage, smothered chicken, greens, you know what I mean? But at my mom's house, we eating doggone chip chop ham, man. If you ever had to eat chip chop ham, let's imagine eating a pig's ass. That's what chip chop ham is, man. It's just like, it's horrible, man.
Can I say one more thing real fast? I just
Go
want
ahead.
to say one more thing, brother. Have you noticed
Nigga, keep God in your life.
if you know when it comes to those movies, especially like Menace to Society and Boys in the Hoods and things like that, Kane actually graduated from high school, but nobody was encouraging him to go to college or go do something special with his life. Only baby girl was telling him to move out, you know what I'm saying? But if you notice in the hood, bro, nobody's telling you to go to college, bro. Nobody's telling you to go to finish high school and get your high school diploma. But it's an achievement when you touch juvenile hall. It's an achievement. It's an achievement when you touch the county jail. It's an achievement when you touch the state penitentiary. But nobody's telling them, hey, go join this fraternity over here or go to the U.S. Army or whatever, or go do something constructive with your life. That's horror in itself. Because you
I would
seen
tell
it.
any young nigga to go to the Army if you can. If you
Yeah,
can't get no job, little nigga, go to the Army, man.
right. I be telling my little homies out here that, bro, go to the Army, bro. Like, go do something with yourself, bro. But as y'all see, Kane said, I'm going to graduate. I'm going to go get that done. But I don't got no plans after that. And what he say right there on his deathbed, now it's too late. I wish I listened to my grandparents because it's too late. But we want
His
to kick it.
grandparents were so happy, man. And you know what's funny? When you watch that, they were so happy that Kane graduated high. What did he say, boy? The Lord has smiled on you. And you know what's funny? My grandma used to talk like that, and I was such a dickhead. I didn't appreciate her enough. I wish I could give my grandma a hug. I used to get smart, not listen to her, stay out late, smoke weed on her back porch with the niggas. Like, I just think about that, man. Like, my grandma talking about, what's that smell outside? Oh, nothing, Grandma. We just out here talking.
Right. And it's crazy how grandparents are so important because if you remember with Kane's situation, Kane seen his father unalive a man because the man told him to, You feel what I'm saying? And his father couldn't let that go. And his father is giving his mother this poison. So that was, even though he had to go to the Jordan Down projects, that was still a lifeline for him. You feel what I'm saying? You see how demons have children? What turns a human into a demon, bro, is all the negative things and all the torture that he goes through.
And Watts is crazy. I remember dudes will walk up to you and watch and say, "What's up, nigga?
What's up?" Yeah.
What you talking about? That's what you gotta do.
Nigga, keep God in your life. Fuck, nigga, keep God in your life.
You gotta do that. You gotta keep God in your life, bro. I don't care what you do, man. That's like I heard a song.
Where did you find that at? That was crazy.
That was crazy.
No, I know the artist.
Negro.
I know the artist, man. He got that song. He had that song, Nigga Eat a Salad. He had a song called Eat a Salad. Shout out to him. Well, that's what got me inspired to get back going. Cause man, you know what? I'm thinking about it like this, man. the way we going, I'm gonna be candid here on YouTube. The way we going on YouTube, at some point, it's gonna pop even bigger for BVO. Because you know what I'm finding out? We probably here at BVO Sports whenever we talk, or always talk just boxing because there's so much more we can do. And I'm gonna tell you, we one of the rare channels that you see. We don't got to beef for nobody. Nobody even exists. If your name ain't Puerto Rico Free, if your name ain't Insane Crush or Light Skin B3 or Marcus, you don't even exist. When have you ever heard us say anything about anybody? Because they don't exist. I remember somebody said something about me and on YouTube. And I remember saying, you know what? This person don't even exist. F him and his old bloodline. And I left it at that. You got to get like that, bro. I remember my grandfather used to talk like that. My grandfather used to talk like that. Hey, man, F him and his old bloodline. Or my favorite thing, you said, "Oh, nigga, say yeah, maggot." They used to call a nigga a maggot, and remember that freak. I'm all niggas call a dude a maggot back then.
What's going on, Big Dre?
Shout out to Big Dre, man. They used to call niggas maggots back in the day. This nigga's a maggot.
All right.
But
You know what? Tonight was a very beautiful show, bro. And I just appreciate my brother BVO. I appreciate D Free for, you know what I'm saying, and Prize. But really, I really appreciate D Free because though he was in the mix, you know what I'm saying, he decided to go on the other side so he could speak from both sides, you know what I'm saying? And I was able to air out my discretions on the side that he happened to go on. But I want to know from D Free himself, like, D Free, do you still believe in your mind that it's still just entertainment, or do you feel that Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood is actually a horror movie?
No, I never looked at it as entertainment. I mean, I did when I was a child. Because Menace Society came out, I was in high school. I probably was in the 11th or 12th grade when
that was
Menace
91.
Society came out. Yeah, so I was in the 10th grade. I was in the 10th grade when Menace Society came out. So I was in high school. So it was entertaining at that time. But as I got older, I looked at it and I learned about, because I lived in Cali, but I was younger when I lived in Cali. And then as I got older, when I went into the military and I visited Cali and I saw different stuff or whatever, I looked at it as more of a reality. It was more of a reality movie or entertaining. I mean, it was entertaining for a lot of the other people that don't know about South Central and stuff like that. But it was more of a reality movie. It was more like somewhat of a true story. You know how they give you this movie is based off a true story. That's what I look at Menace to Society, is a movie based off a true story. Might not have been, all of the stuff might not have happened exactly how they said, but this is what goes on in South Central.
Hey, man, you know what I will say though, Insane, that's one thing I like about you, man. You really do a good job of bringing another side to YouTube, and I appreciate that because sometimes we get blinded into what we doing. And I'll be honest with you, man, it means nothing if we can't affect the youth in a positive way. You know
and
what
I wanna say the Insane too. Your basketball debate. I don't know, though. I think you might have lost that one, dog.
Oh, no. Everybody said I won that.
Who you have a debate against, Insane?
I debate Abel. Mojave Sports Nation?
Yeah, I know Mahari. I seen him around.
Yeah, the one that got the swollen head.
Debate,
that happened. That went on your channel?
Nah, it's on 7A channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta check 7A.
It was a good debate. To be honest with you, I don't think neither one of y'all lost. I think both of y'all had.
I thought it was a draw.
Points. Yeah, both of y'all had good points.
What was the debate about?
Old school versus the new school.
Yeah, the old.
You had the new school and didn't cook.
I had the old school and cooked.
Oh.
I mean, it's,
but
you know what? It's not the same
both of y'all
game.
made good points.
Yeah. I believe we both did make.
It definitely ain't the same game, BVO.
It's not the same game because one thing that people got to remember, the zone defense coming to the NBA changed everything. I think they did that to stop Iverson and to stop Kobe and to stop Tracy. Because people don't realize Michael Jordan was playing one-on-one. Them dudes wasn't doubling him, man. They was playing one-on-one. They wasn't playing zone back in the 90s. They didn't play zone. That's something that changed the game for the worse. But Iverson would do that bull crap where he would come off the pick and he running down like he in a doggone football uniform and going running right to the hole. Who gonna stop that?
Yeah, they stopped playing Michael Jordan. They stopped double teaming Michael Jordan when he got Scotty. When he got Scotty, the double team stopped. But before he got Scotty, he used to get double and triple team a lot. But when he got Scotty, they kind of fell back on the double team because they had to worry about Scottie Pippen as well. Because they're like, okay, we double Jordan. Scotty is a slasher as well. So Scotty a killer. So they were like, nah, we just got to put our best man on him, and hopefully we could slow him down. We know we can't stop him, but hopefully we could slow him down.
You know who I thought guarded Jordan the best, and people don't agree with me? But Gary Payton did a really good job. If you ever watch those finals when you bored, he did a really good job of keeping a hand in Jordan's face.
Yeah, GP
they called a lot,
but
they called a lot of ticky tack ish on Gary when he played him, bro. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody got more calls than MJ. Nobody.
Nah.
Nobody. Free, you couldn't touch the nigga. Free, you couldn't touch the nigga, man. You couldn't touch the nigga.
I know that. I'm talking about back then. Nobody got more calls than Jordan. But I'm looking at it right now. I think up until maybe these last couple of years, LeBron used to, Kobe got a lot of calls. Steph Curry got a lot of calls.
You think Kobe got? I don't think Kobe got a lot of calls because I remember
don't think Kobe did.
Man,
either.
Kobe got
that. And the reason I say that, think about that finals when they played Detroit. Tayshaun Prince was hitting that nigga every time. They didn't call it.
You got some games where Kobe didn't get the calls that he thought he should got, but Kobe got a lot of calls. I'm talking about throughout the years. I'm not talking about just one series or anything like that. I'm talking about throughout the years. Those guys got a lot of calls that most people won't get. Just like what you said about I think it was Kobe and Mike, or it was LeBron and Mike, or somebody, and Michael Jordan was like, your name ain't big enough yet to get those calls.
Right. When he was talking to Kobe,
yeah.
What he said, I got 6 rings. You only got 3.
He said,
only
got 3. Yeah. And he was like, Mike, that was in the All-Star game. Yeah, I remember that.
And you know what's so funny about Mike that people don't realize? Michael Jordan, most of us seen, was a post player. Now, maybe D3 is a little he was a bigger kid, but D3 was a baby when Jordan was doing this thing. Except I'll take that back. You seen him in 91, so you was in high school and got to see him. But Jordan, before he got the jump shot and stuff, that nigga was nasty. I watched some Jordan stuff from like 84, 85, 86.
Fried.
Like when Jordan first came out.
This nigga was dunking with his tongue out with a chain on. Prize. I don't know if you ever seen.
Yeah, why the nigga had his tongue out? That nigga's zesty.
Prize.
I remember. I forgot what head coach it was, but they said head coach for the Pistons. They said
Chuck Daly.
Yeah, what they said, whenever Mike stick his tongue out, we got problems.
Hey, y'all hearing it here tonight. Y'all hearing it here tonight. In a couple of days, I'ma debate Prize on the old school and new schools on BVO Sports TV. We're gonna debate and get that out the way. I'm gonna take the old school and I'm gonna let Prize take the new school. Y'all hearing it here live.
You just threw me in the fire, huh?
Only thing I do know that's really special now that I watch and say, wow, is that big goofy nigga Joker. He's nice. That nigga's nice, bro.
He's smooth.
This nigga can't jump over a phone book. Hey, I'm heavy and I can grab dude.
And Ja gonna be on the move soon.
I can grab the ring with 2 hands. It looked like this dude.
I think they're gonna send Ja to Milwaukee.
No, you can't have a non-shooter with Giannis. That's not gonna work. That's like they're talking about.
See what they did what up?
John Morant don't shoot the ball well enough to be. Ain't shooting like 25% from 3.
They sent Trae Young to Washington. That's crazy.
Hey, Prize, do you think your boy is gonna send AJ Brown packing?
I don't know
Can
what we
AJ
gonna do.
Brown pack him?
I ain't like that thing between him and the coach on the sideline during a heated playoff game. That
Man, fuck the
I don't know
coach.
why Sirianni stepped to him like that, knowing he's sensitive. But Howie Roseman, he AJ Brown he can go over Nick Sirianni's head. He can go straight to Howie and Jeffrey and tell them, look, man, you know what I mean? It's gonna be some major changes because our offense was like they stalled. It's like.
It's the quarterback, man.
Nah,
It's
they made some defense was
no,
holding it down, but you got to put
it's the
points up,
quarterback.
man.
It's the quarterback, man. Y'all got the worst effing quarterback in the league,
You
man.
crazy?
I'm talking about as far as
No, they
what y'all
don't.
got. As far as what y'all got, I'll put it like this. If I put the dude from Washington, what's the dude that's hurt right now? The one that
Jaden.
I'll put like this. If Caleb Williams played with Philly, they'd be unbeatable. Did y'all see the throws that monkey was making in the snow? Come on, man.
Why you got to be a monkey?
I'm joking, man. I'm joking. But
Jesus.
my bad. I take that back. Did y'all see some of the throws he was making? Can y'all imagine if Caleb Williams was in Philadelphia? It's over.
Yeah,
Dog,
I
I'm
like
gonna put it
that.
like this: every team that won this weekend in the playoff was supposed to win, except for the 49ers. They was the only team that wasn't supposed to win. Chicago was supposed to beat Green Bay. They was the better team. Green Bay got way too many injuries in their defense. And the 49ers, they lost their second weapon in the first quarter. George Kittle went down in the first quarter. That whole game was all CMC. They got a little bit from Robinson, but it was mainly CMC. I'm like, dog, y'all know that's their only weapon, and y'all couldn't shut him down.
Man, I would have liked for them to give Bigsby the ball a little bit more when Saquon was stalling, man. And that coordinator, them plays that was coming in, putting Jalen in them third and longs. I didn't like some of them plays,
Jalen is
man.
not good,
It's gonna
man.
be how you gonna say he ain't good and he won a
I'm a,
Super Bowl?
let me. No, he
Destroyed
didn't.
Kansas City in the Super
He
Bowl.
didn't win a Super Bowl.
Man, you
That
crazy. They put
team,
up points.
that team, bro. I'm
When
telling
we
y'all,
lost that offensive coordinator, that was our downfall right there. Hiring that guy
no,
we got.
what y'all should have did is y'all should draft a quarterback, man.
He definitely gonna be there next year because
No, I'm
again,
saying y'all
it's
y'all
gonna
need to
go.
draft a quarterback.
It's
Y'all
gonna
need
go
to.
over his. Yeah, he did carry. AJ dropped two that he know better than dropping. You know, them things are critical. But I ain't making no excuses. But Jalen Hurts will be the starting quarterback next year. That's Howie's guy. He's not going anywhere.
No,
Hey, free.
I will say Jalen Hurts played well enough to win that game. There was costly drops from Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. They had Devontae Smith dropped the pass on the sideline that would have gave them a first down. AJ Brown dropped a pass across the middle that would have gave them a first down. And then just
One to the
that
sideline.
those and the one to the sideline as well. But those plays right there, I can't put this loss on Jalen Hurts. He didn't make any mistakes. I think he threw one interception. I think he threw one. But
It don't
was
matter.
at the end of the game.
It's
I'm
going to
gonna
be
say.
some changes
I'm
on
gonna just say
coaching
this,
changes.
man.
That looked like coaching out there. They didn't look like all year long. They didn't look like they were gelling. Like they didn't look like they was on the same page. You see AJ and them on the same page. Well, they only Jalen's running the plays that he's being told to run. So some of them
You know,
situations, man, is just I don't know. I'm getting out of here,
I'm
man. I got to get
Well,
up in the morning.
I'm gonna just say this
they-
before you go, man. Fabio Worley ain't beat nobody, bro. I watched him versus Joseph Parker. That nigga not beating nobody.
no,
He not
hasn't
gonna
that
beat
when I
nobody.
told you that already?
You
I
said
already
that?
told you that.
No, he's not good. He's not good. For I was watching this dude.
No,
Joseph
I
Parker was
told
kicking
y'all
his
that.
ass.
No, I
So
told you Fabio Worley is not that good. He just was good enough to beat Parker. He was just good enough
yeah,
to beat Parker. He's not that good.
I would keep it real, man. What I see with him, he don't need to
He
get hurt.
got power. He got power, but he's not that good. He's not beating no Usyk. He's not even beat. I don't even think he beat Kabbalah. I don't think he beat Kabbalah.
He definitely not beating no Kaba. Yeah, that's a fact. Caballero's a dirtbag. You saw he was pulling that dude's head down like that.
Yeah, Caballero he was being real dirty in that fight. I ain't never see him fight like that. I like, oh, this man is being dirty.
Hey, Prize, nigga, he grabbed the dude's head, was pulling
He was
head
grabbing
down.
it to an uppercut. Referee was like, get off the back of his head. I was like, yo, that's crazy work.
Yeah. He was being real dirty in that fight.
That's not
Caballero fight like that.
No, aircraft carrier. That's not a good fight. Wardley sucks, dude. I'm watching this fight right now.
I'm watching this fight right now. He was fighting against Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's not a knockout artist.
Did you see the Wilder versus Joseph Parker fight? Wilder was so dirty in that fight and still lost. So I don't know. I'm looking at Wardley right now. He's small. I don't get the Deontay Wilder comparisons calling him Tan Wilder. I mean, he's not good. But let me ask y'all this before we get out of here. Did y'all hear that my man Vladimir Klitschko's coming back? You think that's a good idea at 50 years old?
He better come back for an exhibition to fight Jake Paul. That's what he better come back for.
No, he said he want to come back and be champion.
He's crazy.
He gonna come
I don't know
back.
if I got a chance to see my video.
He gonna come back and get whooped by a champion. No, I saw the video. he gonna come back and get whooped by a champion. He ain't coming back to be champion.
Hey, his sparring look good.
I don't have his old tail beating nobody that's in contention for the title. Anybody that got a title or that's in contention for a title, he's not beating none of them. All of them are putting them to sleep.
He said his old tail ain't beating nobody.
He ain't beating. That man is completely done. He ain't beating none of them dudes. That man been out of the ring for what, like 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
That man ain't beat. No, the last time I seen that man in the ring, he was getting up off the. That's the last time I seen him in the ring.
Yeah. Last time he got in the ring was for AJ, didn't he?
Yeah.
They had to pick him up.
Right. That's the last time I seen him in the ring. He was getting picked up off the canvas against AJ. That man is completely done. He ain't beating none of these guys now.
Nah,
yeah,
I don't think so.
I see his because he was he was talking about training with Team Usyk. And I'm just being honest with you, man. The dude he fought was like fighting him intermediate. Shout out, I got a new connect for the overseas stuff, so we're gonna be having more overseas talk.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now, that dude ain't beating daggone Big Baby Anderson. He ain't beating Big Baby Anderson. And Big Baby Anderson don't even want to fight. And he ain't beating him.
Yeah, only thing I think not Joshua, with Vladimir, you can't just jab, grab like he used to either. They're not gonna let you just grab niggas like that no more.
No, just imagine. Yes, just imagine. All he did was jab, right hand.
Mm-hmm.
His hand speed was mediocre at the time when he was at his best. Yeah. That man is almost 50 years old. Just imagine how slow he is now. We thought Joe Joyce was slow. He probably way slower than Joe Joyce.
He cold.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just being honest.
He said his old tail ain't beat nobody.
That man hands was mediocre at best. It was
I gotta send you what I gotta do, Free. I'm gonna send you the sparring that I got. And you gotta see he looked pretty nice, man. He looked pretty nice in the sparring, but
you can look pretty nice sparring against guys that you're working out with. You can look pretty nice hitting a heavy bag. You can look pretty nice hitting a speed bag. It's a whole different thing when you get in the ring and it counts and there's money on the line. It's a whole different thing.
Hey, you ain't lying, man.
Anybody look good sparring. Anybody look good hitting the heavy bag, hitting the speed bag, hitting the pass. Anybody look good. But when you get in the ring and it's you or the next man, now let's see how you look. When that man just as hungry as you are, let's see how you look. You 50 years old, this man 25. He's half the age of you. And you think that's like me saying, I'm gonna go out here and punch on some high school students in a boxing ring. No, the hell I'm not. If we fighting for real. I'm not boxing nobody. We fighting for real. I'm picking up a bat, a brick, a chain. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to win. I'm not half my age. No, that's stupid.
Hey, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man. One thing that got me though with the whole thing is these old dudes think they can fight forever. they can't fight forever because I'm just let you know this before we get out of here. They confirmed the Mike Tyson versus Floyd fight. That fight is happening.
Hey, I'll put it this way. They probably can fight forever. They get in the ring, that's gonna be the last fight they ever have in a long forever. It's gonna be the last fight they have forever. Just imagine daggone Triple G hitting Vladimir right now. Just imagine Triple D hitting Vladimir right now with the same punch that he hit AJ with. Vladimir might not get up. He might not get up. Yeah. That man might be in a wheelchair, for the rest of his life. He might not get up.
Yeah, they got to stop playing with these guys like that. On that note, we be back tomorrow. We gonna be talking about boxing as usual. We getting closer to that. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, and shout out to my man Matias. I heard he just woke up yesterday, so shout out to Matias, man. And we gone, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.